This is the Pete and Sebastian Show with Pete Correale and Sebastian Maniscalco.
All right, welcome to the Pete and Sebastian Show. Listen, there's a lot of information we just found out. Prior to starting this thing up, I asked you to do this because I thought you lived here. Right? And when you told me that you flew out from New York City to join us on the podcast, I gotta tell you, I feel like he needs to leave with an envelope of cash.
I feel like we need to plug Yannis's dates every show for the next year.
Well, that's why I did it. I figured maybe there would be cash too. Cash is nice. Yeah. Wedding gift. I got married a couple of years ago, so.
All right, we'll give you a belated wedding gift.
Yeah.
Do we have any parting gifts for him? Okay, we do have a gift for you.
All right.
Yeah, we do.
I'm not going to turn him down. Yeah. I'll take
I'm out of
Pete
breath,
and Sebastian shirt or something.
You're right, man.
We have no merch. We have no merch. This is not like any other podcast you've ever done before.
Right.
We are completely, utterly disorganized over here. All right. There's no rhyme or reason to what the hell we're doing. And maybe we'll pick your brain about podcasting during this episode, just because I know that I see you everywhere on every podcast. You got your own podcast. I don't even know how many you got. I don't know if you got one or
just
two.
one.
You got
Yeah.
one. Okay.
Yeah.
What's yours called?
The Yannis Pappas Hour.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh, I heard of you.
Glad you did the
too.
research.
Yeah.
No.
Who are you?
No. That's not true. This is Yannis Pappas, and I know that. And I also want to say, Sebastian turned me on to your stand-up, bro.
Yeah.
Very funny.
Thank you. And
Very
you
funny.
plugging it helped a lot. I appreciate
Oh,
that.
it did?
Thank you. Yeah.
Bro, I was just sitting there one night watching it on with my wife, and I rarely, when we're comedians, you rarely kind of laugh or what. I don't know. At least I watch another comedian, I could appreciate it, but I don't fall off the couch. With yours, I was actually, it was a happy moment for me because I was just so in the moment and such a fan of what you were doing that I wasn't going, oh no, that's funny, that's clever.
Oh,
It really had me rolling. So kudos to you on the pod.
That comment was worth the flight.
No, it was worth it. It really was. I was hoping it. Yeah. I was hoping the special would come up. Now we're coasted. Yeah.
That's it, baby.
There's another 20,000 views right there.
Was it a YouTube special?
It was, yeah.
So take us through this whole YouTube thing.
You upload it.
Yeah, so you just film it and
Where'd you
upload
film
it?
it?
I filmed it at Comedy on State in Madison, Wisconsin, which I had done my album at too, and I did them both the same way because I'm not good at this. I just was there, and and Saturday night I was like, "Hey, do you guys got like another camera?" And the guy who worked there was like, "Yeah," and I was like, "Maybe I'll shoot my special." So I paid him $200, and that's what my special cost, $200.
$200. Wow. What the hell?
They had cameras, in the club, and then it's all the audio's all linked up, and I was like, let me just shoot it and put it up.
Now, after it came out and it was well received and the material's so great, is there a part of you that goes, geez, maybe I should have gave it a better dress?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Everything about
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
Because I kind of did one. The last one I did was called For Pete's Sake, and I did it on the cheap. And I was just filming it to maybe get a special.
Yeah.
But after I filmed it, the guy I did it with, I'm like, I kind of like it, And the guy I did it with was saying to me, hey, did you ever think about asking Sebastian about doing the special with you? And I'm like, nah, I don't do any of that. I'm not going to ask any of my friends. I would never do that, right? And then it came out like on Amazon through Bill Burr and All Things Comedy. And you called and you go, oh, man, it was really funny. I wish I would have known you were doing a special, but maybe I would have got involved. And I'm like, well, shit, I should have did that.
Yeah.
The same thing, I feel like sometimes the material was better than the presentation.
Yeah.
But you're going to make another great one and another great one, bro.
Hopefully,
$200
And we'll both ask Sebastian. Hey, you want to produce something? Make it look nice.
If you ever get a call that says Yannis and Correale want to talk to you at the same time, you know what's coming.
No, I'd be happy to get involved with your next specials. So you do the special, you got the podcasting, and I don't know, for a guy like you, I've heard your name throughout the years, and then I see this special and this podcasting. The podcasting and the stand-up, do you have a preference as far as like what you like to do? I mean, what do you get out of the podcasting that you're not getting out of stand-up? Is it just
riffing with friends? It's so fun. Like, yeah, just like having fun with comics. Like you're playing off each other. 2-man comedy. I'm sure you guys laugh a lot.
Yeah.
So it's like another muscle. It's like a mix of, I think, stand-up and improv, and it's like a new kind of muscle.
Do you take any of the stuff that you're doing on the podcast and throw it into the act?
I try not to, but I do. And then I'll just erase that part of the episode or something.
Well, but I mean, erasing it seems like a bit much because, like, I mean, isn't that kind of, I didn't realize that either at first. I've told the story before, but one time with Sebastian, I went to the Comedy Store and he was doing a bit on stage that he had mentioned in the cast.
Yeah.
And I go, "You're doing stuff from the cast on stage?" And he goes, "Yeah, you're not?" And I'm like, "Why aren't I?" It's almost like they go hand in hand. It's almost like a writing session.
Yeah,
right?
almost, yeah.
So you say a funny joke right here, right now with us. How could you not use it on the freaking next time you're on stage,
It's that comic thing where you're going like, has someone seen this? When nobody has, and nobody remembers it.
Exactly, right?
That, like,
I mean, not that nobody has, but
a few
so
people.
few, they're not going to yell out from the crowd, "Come on, it's from the cast!"
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm watching you on these podcasts, and then I follow you on Instagram. You're doing a lot of these. You do like a lot of characters, right? And I was sitting there thinking, have you ever like tried out for Saturday Night Live? Is that something that ever interested you, or is this something that you do on a whim, but dressing up as these?
Yeah, it was way back in the day. I did, like when I first started, when I think Rob Riggle got it. So it was like way back. And I didn't do great. I was so nervous. And then after that, I didn't really ever want to or think about it, or I wouldn't now. Yeah.
Do you remember what you did in the audition?
I did, yeah. I did like 3 minutes of horrible stand-up.
Oh, it wasn't any of these characters?
No, I think I broke into a character here and there. I did one that was called the Armless Nazi that I used to do. He was a Nazi with no arms, so he would... How can that?
I don't know. Seems to be killing him.
Yeah.
It was great. It was, and he would get, so I think I did that one, but I hadn't developed the ones that I had one that went kind of viral, like with Maurica, which, got big. I sold a lot of tickets in New York and Miami and certain places. And so I went and would do her live, and I still do it. I've kind of been bringing it back lately. I kind of let it rest for a while, but yeah, other than that. And then I have a Greek one, Mr. Panos, who got popular with Greeks. And so I would go and do Greek shows, and those are the worst.
You have a big Greek following? I mean, are you 100% Greek?
I'm 100%, yeah. Inbred kind of, yeah. Island.
Like lamb?
Yeah.
Ooh,
yeah.
I can't even say lamb without getting nauseous right now.
You don't like
from
lamb?
drinking last night.
Oh, yeah. You guys had
no, I got my brother-in-law's Greece. He makes lamb whenever I go there.
He's Greece?
He's Greek.
Greek. I'm going to tap out here.
My wife's Italy. I know what you're talking about.
Oh, shit.
Yes.
All right, everybody, with the busy fall season already in swing, you might be looking for wholesome, convenient meals for jam-packed days. Factor, America's #1 ready-to-eat meal kit, can help you fuel up fast with chef-prepared, dietitian-approved, ready-to-eat meals delivered straight to your door. You'll save time, eat well, and stay on track with your healthy lifestyle. Adjust your stride this autumn without missing a step. Choose from 34-plus weekly flavored, packed, fresh, never frozen meals ready to eat in 2 minutes. With Factor, you can rest assured you're making a sustainable choice. They offset 100% of their delivery emissions, source 100% renewable electricity for our production sites and offices, and feature sustainability-sourced seafood in their meals. This September, get Factor and enjoy eating well without the hassle. Simply choose your meals and enjoy fresh, flavor-packed meals delivered to your door, ready in just 2 minutes. No prep time, no mess. Wow, 2 minutes. That is 120 seconds. Head to factormeals.com/thecast and the number 50 and use code THECAST, again, number 50, to get 50% off. That's the code THECAST50 at factormeals.com/thecast50 to get 50% off.
I mean, why is lamb so popular with the
Because that's what they had there. They didn't have cows there. It was like indigenous to the area. It's good.
Yeah.
The only problem is like on Easter, the Greeks cook them outside. And a lot of times neighbors will call the cops because they think they're killing the dog.
Oh,
You know,
wow.
it looks like a dog roasting, yeah. Because they hang them up on a spit. And it's traumatic for the children, too.
Yeah.
So you first generation?
Yeah, well, 1.5. My mother was born there. My dad was born in Brooklyn. So 1.5, yeah.
So-
And, yeah, there was a diner involved, yeah.
Yeah, you did.
Of
your
course,
family did
yeah.
diner?
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
I love a good diner.
Yeah, my grandfather had diners.
Greek diners, by the way. Growing up in Chicago, you went to a Greek diner, and I don't know what the hell they're doing behind the in the kitchen, but I used to go for breakfast and used to order, and the food would be on the table in 3 minutes. Right?
Unbelievable.
I've never seen a quicker turnaround on an order than at a Greek diner. Do you know what they're doing at Greek diners to get the food out that way? Because I think the Greek diner should train the rest of the restaurant industry on how to behave in the kitchen, because whatever the hell they're doing there,
Yeah.
it's just amazing.
And a Greek can make anything. I mean, the menu at a Greek diner is like a novel.
Well, now it's Mexicans. Now it's Mexicans in there.
Yeah.
They dominate, yeah. And I think that's why a lot of the Greeks were nervous about Trump when he was in office, his wall. They were like, they were ready to build like a tunnel underneath the wall
to get the
to
workers
go right to the right to the diner, like an underground Mexican worker railroad. They're like, no wall, you can't. Yeah, because it's all Mexican now. They work hard. Greeks work hard. The 24-hour diner. I think my granddad was probably like a part of that generation that started the 24-hour diner, and that was just like. I think my dad said he met his father like 7 times. They like said hello in the hallway.
Wow.
He just like slept at the restaurant.
Jeez.
He had a German shepherd named Jerry that would guard it. He'd have to pay off the mob.
Wow.
Yeah, back then that was like, and he said back then it wasn't even looked at as like crime. It was just kind of like everything was cash and it was like needed. It was like an expense that you needed protection from, disorganized crime. So it was like it was necessary.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Isn't it? Like, did it really work though? Like, if you paid the mob and then some guy spray painted your wall, can you call Tony Boots and go, somebody spray painted the outside wall? We'll find out who did it.
I think so.
Or do you not really get your bang for your buck?
Yeah.
You go complain to John Guy, like, look, man, I'm giving you 12%. This guy,
I got some graffiti on the wall here.
this guy vandalized the bathroom. He came back with 1 broken. You said 2 broken. He's like, I paid 12%. You complain to the mob about the service, give him a bad Yelp review. The fuck? You're supposed to kill the guy.
What am I paying for?
What the fuck? Oh, Jesus.
Well, it's interesting. What do you get for the payout? Do you get full protection, graffiti if they break in, or somebody
is
comes
there a
in?
plan?
Yeah, is there do you get
Kid plan?
Yeah, do you hey, the customer on table 16 is giving me a hard time. Could you send over somebody to talk to him? I don't know. I just find it fascinating of like what you get for the actual
That
money
would
you're
be a
paying.
hilarious sketch. Like,
Yeah.
just
Where was
ask-
the diner? Where was the diner?
He had a bunch, but he had at one point he had the biggest diner in New York called the Normandy Diner on the old docks on the West Side Highway. And then before that he was down in Red Hook.
Yeah. Oh my
with
God!
the
So
docks.
these are places where the mob probably sat down over eggs and talked about whacking somebody.
Absolutely, yeah.
Wow,
yeah.
man.
It was yeah. So my dad used to remember my grandfather getting in the car, envelope, and yeah, that was just the way it worked back then.
So you're growing up in the diner. You got
Inside it, yeah.
You got Greek parents. All right. Now, comedy is at least from the Italian side. Is not something that's really in the career plan, right? So when you decide to do comedy, is there a lot of support coming out of your mother and father, or
No, there was no support. Yeah, my father, my parents met at law school. They got married because they were Greek, and they were like immigrants. And my brother became a lawyer, and then it was like I'm doing skits. And they would come. They came to my first one. I was horrible, and they were like, "Yeah." They thought they were just asking me, like, trying to recommend psychiatrists and stuff.
Did you go to college?
I did. I went to American University.
Oh, it's a
yeah.
good school too,
It was
man.
good
Right?
school,
So
yeah.
it's like all that, and now you're doing jokes.
Yeah.
They must have been like, "Holy shit!"
Yeah. It was really, they thought something was wrong. So, and my brother, was a lawyer. He had he's a smart one, and so yeah. And till the end, my parents recently passed. I think my dad got it at the end. So that was
Nice.
Yeah.
well, sorry to hear that they're no longer with us.
So-
See, we talked about the saying sorry on the
Did we? When?
on the other podcast.
Last night?
No, on a previous podcast.
We talked about when someone dies. So
Yeah. So when your parent recently passed, so we say we say sorry for your loss, right?
Yeah.
So my question, and I ask you, let's say if your parents died 20 years ago, do you still think I should say sorry for your loss?
Yeah, like, that's so great. What's the limit on that? And I got to know. And I don't want to put you on the spot and be rude here. My dad passed away kind of recently too, and I also want to ask, what's recent? Like maybe you shouldn't be saying recent anymore. I'm gonna decide based on when you tell me.
I mean, it was pre-COVID, right before COVID.
That's not recent.
That's not recent.
That's not even. So he wouldn't have to say sorry if you didn't say recent.
I should have just said my dad is dead.
Yeah,
my
but they're not alive anymore.
I thought he came right from the funeral.
Don't make me laugh. I'm gonna throw up. I'm a little hungover, folks.
You guys weren't lying about the heat here.
Yeah. No,
I gotta keep my shirt off my body.
My dad died during COVID, and I don't even go with the recent anymore. And when you go with the recent, you're opening up a can of worms.
Right.
Now I got to do the sob face and the whole thing.
You're right. You're right. Yeah, you're right.
And you said both, as if like did they die together?
Well, my mother
I mean, now I'm thinking
on the Titanic. My mom a year and a half ago for the mother.
Oh, I'm sorry. No, that's recent. I'm sorry, bro.
Recent. That was
Seriously.
recent. Yeah,
We're
but my
teasing.
father, that should have been.
You know
he's
I'm
dead.
teasing.
Yeah, my dad died.
Isn't it like my mom is still alive, but it's like hard when your dad dies and your mom's alive and she's just, I don't know, were they still together?
No, they weren't together.
All right, so that's a little
I got to
different
put this
then.
down real soft.
Yeah, no,
Why?
Because it makes noise.
Oh, see, that's a not a
Professionalism.
professional podcaster.
Yeah. Jeez.
He's thinking
Hang
about
in
the
mind.
edit going, there's a clink in the glass hitting the marble table.
I love
We
it.
gotta
This is
get
like
rid
a law office conference
no,
room.
we have we use this as our dinner table after this is done.
So this is the nicest podcast table I've ever done. It's like a hotel lobby.
No, we try to class it up.
It's
there
classy,
at the Pete,
yeah.
It's a Pete and Sebastian show. So coming from again, I'm fascinated with the Greek side of your upbringing here.
Big in Chicago, right? The
Big in
Greeks.
Chicago. Greeks are big. I grew up with a bunch of Greeks. Spanikopita, Tinafto, the whole thing.
Oh,
right?
Tinafta, you speak that?
Yeah, that's all I know, bro.
No curses?
No, I don't. I didn't pick up any on the curse words. But yeah, we. So do you cook?
No.
No, you didn't pick up that
I didn't
trade,
pick
huh?
that up, no.
I mean, you got a wife and she's Italian,
She's Italian, yeah.
and you got a kid too, right?
2 kids now,
You
yeah.
got 2 kids. What's the age?
They're 2.5 and 6 weeks.
Wow.
Yeah, just born. Yeah, that's recent. That's recent. Yeah, that's recent.
Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you.
That's awesome.
Thank
Boy
you.
or girl, what?
2 girls.
Awesome.
Jeez, man. So
Yeah.
you being a comedian, you're on the road and you're doing the podcasting, and now you got kids. Have you factored in like, hey, now that I got kids, I might want to peel back a little bit on the touring? Are you a type of dad where I go out and I'm gonna work, and because that's what my father did. My father was, I'm sure your father was too. He slept in a restaurant, right?
Yeah.
And he worked and wasn't at the basketball game or the football game or whatever the hell I was doing. Later on in life, we got tight. Do you keep this in mind as a comedian now that you got 2 young daughters? Like, are you going to be the guy that's going to be around, or how do you give it balance?
Yeah, well, I'm looking for advice because it's been a change for me. It's like crazy. Like, I'm on the road and I just want to be home, and I've never felt that before because I used to want to leave home and go on the road, and now I'm like,
You got a house now?
I got a house, I got kids,
Like to
my
tinker
mother-in-law
in your
lives
garage, right? Like,
Yeah.
Hey, bro, sometimes I have a 10-year-old too. I'm in my garage and I'm like, look, I got to go do stand-up shit.
there. Yeah.
Just want to fix my lawnmower.
Yeah, it's like it's been a paradigm shift and sort of like, who am I now? Yeah, it's wild because I want to be there for everything.
Yeah.
The stage, though, when you're up there, that's great.
That is great when you're up there.
You know that,
Yeah.
right? It's all the other. Oh, I wish I could just snap my fingers. Like, remember the movie The Fly where they get in a machine and it takes you where you want to go? Wouldn't that be great? Like right now, I'd be like, I'll be right back. I got to do an hour in Melbourne, Australia. Melbourne.
That would be great. Yeah, that would be great.
And then I'm
yeah.
back here in an hour.
Yeah.
I know.
But if you've got friends with you, that helps. But
Do you travel with do you got like a
I
Like
got
a posse? Or
No,
like,
no posse. No.
like Bert Kreischer, he travels with 73 people, right?
Yeah. He's got a.
I see this
It's
guy's
a
video.
population. It's not people. He travels with a population statistic. Yeah.
yeah, right.
You got to check the census on. It's a cow. Yeah, it's a lot of people. Yeah.
So you got like one guy?
One guy, a good
One
friend of mine. Yeah, he's on my podcast too. He's a young comic. He's 25. He's such a good kid. He's from Long Island, Jared Harvin. So he comes with me. He's funny. He's going to be a big, and he's just a nice guy, nice kid. So I go with him. And plus, his mom works for Delta, so he gets free flights, so I don't have to pay for it. So that helped too. I just wanted to put that at the end of the list. It may be at the front, depending on how much I'm getting paid at the gig.
Oh, that's huge. So his gig, he gets
free flights. So I'm like, yeah, you can open for me. That's great.
Oh, that's great.
I used to work for United, right? I used to work for United Airlines Employees Credit Union. But the problem with it was you fly standby when you fly with the airline. I don't know if it's changed, right? So if it's packed, you can't get on. You got to stay the whole day at the airport. Is that what he's doing, or have they changed the whole?
No, I think that's what he's got to do. There's got to be an available seat. Yeah, which there usually is. But yeah. I mean, sometimes he'll be at the airport, and I'll just be like, all right, I'm getting on, and he's just like, all right, I'm figuring it out.
Wow.
Now, do you guys hang out off stage when you're on the road?
Yes.
See, that's the big reason why I never thought about bringing somebody is because
you go alone.
Yeah, and I just I like to see the comics where I go, and but sometimes it's not very good because they're so dirty or something, and I'm not, and then you're like, God, man. So,
Gee, let's be honest. The reason you're traveling with an opener is because they don't work for Delta.
Yeah. Oh well, yeah. No, financially, too. Yeah, that's the number one thing.
And don't ask me for his number either.
If I could go, this is where I'm playing. This is what they're offering in the middle.
Yeah.
If you could get there, I'd love to have you. But I can't help you with anything else. If you can't take a dime out of my money, or otherwise this is done. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I literally sometimes I watch shows and I want to go to a club. Can we get rid of the middle? And let me just do more time. I'll do another 20. It'll be better than the 20 he's bringing us. And then give me that money too, right? You know? Shit. Yeah. So, but I don't want to. Don't you ever in the morning go, I gotta get eggs with him now? Yeah. That's the part I don't.
Yeah. I mean, do you feel obligated? And maybe you're more a social guy than myself. But do you ever feel obligated to go out with the people you bring on the road?
Well, it's just him, and he's quiet, and that's part of the reason too. Off stage, he's quiet because I'm quiet off stage. So in the green room's quiet. It's always quiet. I got to almost initiate and talk to him. He's more quiet than me. Oh, so it's nice. Yeah,
we're gonna steal your opener. This guy.
That's what I was saying. I was feeling when I met him, and he was like, he told me his mom worked for Delta. I was like, this is too good for me. You are perfect for the phase the stage I am in my career. It's perfect.
That's awesome.
We all know signing your life away to a big wireless provider is kind of like being trapped on a roller coaster. Sure, it looked fun at first. They probably threw in a free phone, but now you can't get off. Month after month of insane bills and unexpected thrills like overages and surprise fees. If that sounds like your current big wireless plan, it's time to get off the ride with Mint Mobile. For a limited time, wireless plans from Mint Mobile are just $15 a month. That's unlimited talk, text, and data for just $15 a month. Mint Mobile is here to rescue you with premium wireless plans for just $15 a month. Say bye-bye to your big wireless plans, jaw-dropping monthly bills, and unexpected overages. All plans come with unlimited talk and text, plus high-speed data delivered on the nation's largest 5G network. Use your own phone with any of Mint Mobile plan and bring your own phone number along with all your existing contacts. Your own phone number, all your existing contacts. Come on, what are you doing? Just ditch big wireless with Mint Mobile's limited time deal and get premium wireless service for just $15 a month. To get your new unlimited wireless plan for just $15 a month and get the plan shipped to your door for free, go to mintmobile.com/thecast. That's mintmobile.com/thecast. Cut your wireless bill to $15 a month at mintmobile.com/thecast.
So when did you start seeing a change in the in your popularity? Is there one thing that kind of, you mentioned these characters that you did, and you got the Greeks following you. By the way, do you have a big Greek following? I feel like the
Greeks know who I am. They're torn on the character. I mean, they have a love-hate relationship with it. Like the ones that love it, and the ones that hate it because they think that makes Greeks look bad, But yeah, I've done all the Greek shows, and those are just like always through the church. So there's always like, priests there. It's always awkward. There's kids there because the Greeks everyone comes. It's like a Greek show. So it's like 6-year-old kids, grandmothers that escaped the Turks that are like 100 years old. They're all there. And I have to figure out how to play to like 8 generations of Greeks.
Right.
And it's just the worst shows. I did one show with like a cross, like Jesus, like the fucking dead on the cross. And I had to do comedy. Like it's all through the church.
So you don't curse then on those shows?
I try not to, yeah. I mean, I tried and I don't, and then I come out, I do the character, and they love that. So I do like a little stand-up, a little bit of the character. And so the Greeks do like the character. And
so that's like you could become, because that's what so much of stand-up is now. It seems to be each nationality wants to find their person.
Yeah.
And root for that person.
There's not enough Greeks, though. There's like
not
1 million Greeks. If I was Indian, I'd be fucking...
I got to find out my brother-in-law knows about you. He should be listening to you stand-up while he's cooking lamb for the holiday.
Oh, your brother-in-law's Greek.
I told you that.
I got another fan.
I said Greece.
I will. Special. Yeah.
I will. Of course I will, man.
Yeah.
Make the shit grow even more.
Appreciate it, yeah.
You go to Greece and perform ever?
I've never been. But I think Bill's going, actually. Burr's going there.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
Bill's not our guest today. You are.
I am, yeah.
Right. When are you going to Greece? No, well, what's the friend of yours that went to, I'm sorry, the name's eluding me, who's popular with the Indian population?
Russell Peters?
Yeah,
Russell
you're
Peters.
going to be the Russell Peters of Greece, bro.
Yeah, there's a billion Indians, though.
A billion of them.
Yeah, he's got what? You said 1 million Greeks?
There's 1 million Greeks, I think, in America.
In the United States?
In the United States.
Wow. That's still enough to live well. I mean, I'm a mutt. I'm half Italian, half Irish. Fucking nobody knows. Nobody latches onto me in a nationality sort of a way, you know? You know what I mean?
Yeah. You got to go on 23andMe and find your people.
Do you do a lot of Greek humor other than the Greek character?
Not really.
No?
Nah, the stand-up is
it's just
more American, more
what
general.
I've seen is just funny as hell, yeah.
I filter all the Greek stuff through him,
right?
The character, and then, and then the ladies liked Maurice. So that's like, that got big with Latins. Huge in Miami and New York with Cubans and Puerto Ricans and Dominicans and gays. Gays love it. They do her at drag shows.
Oh, wow.
Really?
I'll get videos all the times of the drag queens doing her stuff. And it's weird. It's just a character that caught on. I had no idea it was going to get so huge.
You mentioned the characters. When you say you do a character, like you just go into a character on stage and then you're that character for a while?
Yeah, I work it out on stage, like in my stand-up.
What happens when like you're doing a character and you don't feel they're buying it? Like
it's awkward.
Right, because the joke you could just step out of and go into a new joke. You're like, oh, I got to keep doing this lady for another 20 minutes.
It's real. I got a funny story about that. So I used to do a show with my buddy Angelo Lozada, who passed away. Not recently.
Oh, yeah, I know him.
Yeah.
I know him.
Great guy. Amazing guy. So he used to come with me everywhere. And I would do a show where I would do stand-up, and I would do the Greek character, Mr. Panos, and I would do Maurice. And he would ask the crowd, because I never knew if there was more Greeks or more Puerto Ricans there. So he would ask the crowd to gauge, like, hey, guys, excited to see Maurice? And based on that response, I would change into whichever character and go up. If it was a bigger reaction, then that character went second.
Right.
So we did Chicago, the Schaumburg Improv. And this was before we figured that out. And I always just thought she was bigger. I didn't know there was so many Greeks in Chicago that were coming out. It was packed out. And so I go up as him, right? And he kills, Mr. Panos. He kills. He never killed that hard. He's not as likable a character as her. And I'm just going like, man, I think I'm just figuring this out. I'm getting good at it, right? And then for her, it's usually big. So we have a song. So I get dressed up as her. The song starts playing. All I hear is I hear the reverberation off the walls. It usually loud, people screaming, girls going crazy. I just hear the echo of the song going. And I come out and it's just nobody. Everyone's just like, what's going on? And then I just bombed in a dress. It was so bad. I just moved the mic. At one point I was just like, let's just wrap it up. Like that. It was just all Greeks and they had no idea what was going on. They were like, who is this?
Right.
And that's been a big part of my career is like people at the show who have no idea like they'll come and they don't even know me as a stand-up. They like the character, and then I'll do stand-up. And then I've had people even go like, "Yo, you're all three people?" Like they didn't even know, and they watched the show. They're like, "Yo, that's crazy."
So how long was the bit? Like when you're the woman, it's not going well. Is it like 5 minutes?
We wrapped that one up. I think it was like 5 minutes. Usually we go 15, 20 minutes. We had bits, that 2-man bits that we worked on. We were doing the bits. It was just flat. I mean, when I mean flat, I mean, I don't think there was one person at that improv who knew who that character was. Yeah.
Well, I mean, you have some long bits too. Like, you ever have a bit that's like a long bit and it's not going good, and you're like, God damn, I still got 3 more minutes, and like, do I just keep going or?
Yeah, no, I've been in the bit going. You ever Seinfeld talks about this where you're actually. He calls it front of the house, back of the house. So the front of the house, you're saying the bit, and in the back of the house, you're trying to figure out where to hop off the train and go into another bit. So there's been many a times where I'm sitting there going, I gotta get out of this.
I know.
This ain't looking good.
I got one where I used to do a bit where I'm a cobra in a basket, and when I hear the flute, it makes me come out of the basket. But sometimes the bit's not going good, and I'll be down as the cobra, and I'm like going, oh God, I gotta pop, and nobody's gonna fucking laugh. Jesus Christ, how do I get out of this snake shit? Then I come up and go, anybody go to the deli today? And I just switch into so half-assed and so, But at least I don't got to take a fucking dress off. The snake ain't wearing a dress.
It's fucking, I got to get changed.
So when you close with a character, you literally saying good night with a dress on? Hey, you coming up?
Yeah, sometimes. And at one time, I got so confused. I think it was in Jersey. Because I would paint a mustache on for him, and then I would have to wipe it off and put on her. I forgot. And I went out as her with the mustache, and I didn't know. And like the crowd was just acting weird, and Angelo was just like trying to figure out a way to tell me because he would stay up there and ask questions.
Wait, how does this work when you go and do stand up and you're doing these characters? Do you got your opener out there while you're doing costume changes?
Yeah. He stays up. It's like it takes 2 minutes for me to change into her. I only do her in New York, the New York like area, and Miami, and that's it. So otherwise, I'm just doing stand up. And the Greek shows I would do. I used to do all three. I do stand up, I do him, and I do her. And yeah, Angela would just stay up there and work the crowd while I changed. And then
you and Taylor Swift are the only two changes during that show these days.
I had outfit change. Yeah, I was a suitcase comic. I was a prop comic.
Now, did you ever, when you change and go, I got to take a piss too, may as well bang that out while back here? What do you, I may as well multitask here. I mean, it's so weird to be off stage during your own show. Like, I don't know what that would feel like,
Yeah. Sometimes it was just, I was like, it would be tiring because I'd have to perform as 3 different people with 3 different sets of jokes and 3 different personalities. It was kind of
That's cool, though, man. Damn.
Yeah, it was fun.
Really cool.
Well, aside from the characters, the stand-up, as I was watching it, and you do a really great job with kind of making fun, with some of your political humor. I think you had a bit about what it would be like to fly on like a Republican airline or liberal airline, and I like how you make fun of both of the parties. There's a lot of times comedians just slam one party and that's it. So being that this is a culture now where, everything you say is kind of under a microscope, do you tap dance at all with any of your material or even on the podcasting? I joke to Pete that I'm like, you don't really have to edit any of this because I'm editing as I go because I'm like, I'm not going to say that because I don't know where that's going to land in the world of of the woke culture. Is this something you are worried about or you don't give a shit?
I don't give a shit. Yeah, I don't give a shit. I just whatever I think is funny. Yeah, I just go with it. Yeah.
Do you ever, when you're doing your casts, edit, go, we got to take that out?
Occasionally, yeah. Especially if it's like something personal or like you say someone, sometimes it goes a little far, but rarely, rarely.
So
I let it fly. Yeah,
we have a vault here of stuff that we had to take out, and when we pass away, that will be released.
I like that.
So,
make that like a top tier. If you guys have a Patreon, make that like top tier, like big money, and like they got to hope they live longer than you guys. But if they do,
right? Exactly.
Yeah,
I know.
That'd be funny if it's like Geraldo, though. They get there, there's just nothing in there. But you're like, hey, thanks for being a supporter. We're dead. You can't sue anyone.
Then I had a bit about
big...
Queen Elizabeth I loved. I was rooting for her not to die because the bit dies with her.
Right.
You know what I mean? Then on the bit, you're like, stay alive. I love this bit. You know?
Yeah, you kidding me? I've stayed in relationships until I was able to record it. And then I was like, all right, yeah. Yeah.
So you only got married recently, though?
I got married 4 years ago, 4.5 years ago, something like that.
Were you guys dating for a long time?
Yeah, we've been together 9.5 years altogether. Yeah.
Was it one of those things where your wife was like, when are we going to get married? Like, did you make it a big deal? Or were you like, what?
She's from Long Island, dude. So, yeah, that's like.
Italian from Long Island. She must have been up your ass.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Where's my ring?
It's like a degree. That's all they care about. It's like, that's it, dude. When you're a dad in Long Island, and you have a daughter, it's like, you're on the hook for like a $50,000 to $100,000 wedding, a bat mitzvah, even if the girl's not Jewish, a sweet 16, you got to pay for a sweet 16 and a nose job. Those are the four, like, you're going, I need $300K for this chick.
Yeah.
That's it.
Where on Long Island is she from?
She's from Melville.
Okay, not too far from me. Ever get a bacon, egg, and cheese on Long Island?
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
yeah. Are you from Long? Where are you? Yeah, where are you from?
Oakdale, Suffolk County.
Yeah. Long Island.
Did you ask the dad?
I asked the dad. He's Italian. He's Sicilian.
So how'd that go? Is this something that you go out, take them out to dinner, or is it you go in the living room?
I did it in the kitchen. Just standing there. That night I was so nervous. The proposal, I wanted to leave. I felt like I just wanted to get in the car and drive. I just wanted to keep driving. This was my actual thoughts. I was like, just get in the car and go.
Why?
I was scared. I was just scared of like commitment and doing it, but it went perfect. I nailed it.
Is he an immigrant?
His parents. So he's first generation. Yeah.
So was he cool about it? I mean,
he was totally cool. Yeah, he was really cool. He likes me a lot. He was very cool. He was like, yeah. He made it seem like it wasn't a thing. It's something that I've been sweating about for like a month. Like, how am I going to do this? And I did it on Christmas Eve. I proposed on Christmas Eve. And they're in Long Island, so they got the gaudy white tree. It's all white, fake. It's like 100 feet tall because they live in like a big Long Island house. And that's why I proposed by the tree.
Don't make fun of the tree.
What?
Don't make fun of the tree.
He goes white.
You go white too? Yeah. I think it's an Italian thing, right? They like the white leather in the car, do white marble. It's like they can't get enough. Yeah. I think Italians stay in the bathroom longer if it's white marble. You don't even have your phone. You're like, what are you in there? So I say, it's just the marble. I'm just enjoying
the marble, yeah.
So when you propose on Christmas Eve, is that just you and her? Did you do it? Was it everybody was there on a knee? How do you?
I did it. Everyone had left, and I did it. I had a fake gift, a decoy gift. It was like a wallet or something, and I think she was suspected I was going to propose because when she opened the wallet, she was kind of looking through it, looking for the ring or whatever thing was there. I had a card. In the card, I wrote, "Merry Christmas, I love you so much," and then, "Will you marry me?" And so then when she looked up from the card, bang. Oh. So it was perfect. Yeah.
Wait a minute. Where'd the wallet come from?
The wallet was the gift. So she opened the gift. She looked at it. Nothing was there. So I got a little disappointment going, right? Gotcha. And then I was like, read the card. You got to read the card. She read the card, and then bang, hit her right there, eye level. Perfect.
Was the wallet still a quality gift?
Very Long Island.
Was the wallet still a quality gift or a total throwaway?
It was a little bit of a quality gift.
Nice.
But not, we're talking about $60, $50, something like that, yeah. Yeah, enough to disappoint. Yeah, enough to disappoint. She had like a look. She's from Melville. She's from, her dad's a doctor, The wallet really... she's always like, I don't care, I'm not materialistic or whatever, but it's like you throw a $50 wallet at a girl from Long Island, she's thinking about the next guy that she's going to find on Jew.com or whatever. So it
wow,
went nice.
Man. So you guys dated a while though before you finally...
9 years, yeah. Wow. 9 years.
Well, you and Jackie,
Same thing, like 6-7 years.
and then how did you get? What did you do? Did you
A
do-
Greek diner. That's where I got
You
engaged.
did, huh?
How about
Over
that?
at Cheeseburger Deluxe?
Basically, it was called the Green Kitchen. I even went there early and told the guy I brought a champagne bottle. And I said, he had champagne. And I go, set it up, bring it out. When you see me, I'll go like that. You bring it over. And he's like, I got it, no problem. But my wife didn't want to go to the diner. She's like, let's just get something here. And I'm like, and she's like, I don't feel well. And I'm like, we got to go. Let's go, And she's like, what the got to a fight. Like, the fuck me, you don't want to go. I'm like, just go. Your hair's fine. And then when I asked, I was so nervous too. And I showed the ring. I'll never forget. Her first words were, here?
Yeah,
You're asking me here?
That was about to be my first words.
But we ate there all the time.
So you did it there?
I wanted to not have her think it was coming. I wanted to be like,
Yeah.
your fiance's fishing through the wild.
Yeah, we
looking
both
for her, and
kinda-
mine
yeah,
didn't
we're-
see it
yeah.
coming at all.
underneath the white tree? Where is the
Yeah.
fucking thing?
Where'd you do it?
Lana kind of knew it was coming, so I tried to do a lot of misdirecting. It was in Florida at her parents' house. Her parents are in the garage waiting for us to come out. We're gonna go to dinner, and then as we're leaving, I took it out. I had it hidden, and she turned around, and I go. Of course, I start. I'm emotional, right? And I gotta tell you though, it was a beautiful cry on the proposal. She didn't cry at all.
You were crying.
I was bawling. It was like I was getting proposed to. That's how I felt. Right?
Were you crying before you even got the words out?
No, it came simultaneously. Will you marry me? And it just right down the left cheek, right? And she's like, my parents are waiting. Let's go. And I go, you're worried about your parents? I'm on a knee here. And she's worried about that we're going to be late for the dinner.
Yeah.
Let's enjoy it. But
Dude, the one T down the cheek, that should be like in a Every Kiss Begins with K commercial.
Yeah.
Like, I would add that in a commercial. The guy on the knee, that's the one thing. Oh, my
Yeah.
God.
that was beautiful.
It sounds-
You an emotional guy?
Yeah.
Like, what makes you cry? You crying like at movies and shit? Or
Yeah, I think ever since I had daughters, now I cry. I'm like, I feel more. Yeah, I'm looking at my daughters. Sometimes I'll cry. It's weird.
Oh, no,
What's
it's-
going on?
No, did you cry with Sadie?
Sometimes I
Yeah,
cry with happiness and she'll make fun of me like, don't cry, Dad.
I think it's a daughter thing.
It's a daughter thing, right?
I cried too with the daughter. Like I was driving my daughter to school, and I just looked in the rearview mirror and I saw her there, and then I flashed forward to that seat being empty. Oh God, excuse me.
Yeah.
Oh, what's going on? He's getting emotional
I want
right
to see
now.
if that tear takes that route that it took. I mean, it's like driving up the K. It's like coming up Mulholland Drive. That thing was like, his tear didn't come straight down. You notice that? He was like, it was a windy tear.
Oh God. No, but do you ever think of that? I mean, how old are you?
46.
Okay, 46. So you're like an older dad, right? I'm 50, Do you ever think, Jesus, 25, 30 years, Pete often said that, we're not going to be around maybe for the monumental, maybe not.
Hold on.
Yeah, I know.
This is not like any other podcast. We try and make you cry.
It's funny. Somebody's watching us laugh and they go make a sandwich. They come back. We're all just fucking balling.
No.
You think people go make sandwiches when they're listening to the cast? This is own thing, guys. This is own thing. They don't walk away when we start, Giannis. So I don't know. Your show, they go to get a sandwich.
My show, they're just.
All right, listen, folks. At one time or another, we all need a little financial help. It's just how it rolls sometimes, and that's why Dave is great. Dave can get you cash when you need a hand between paychecks, and he can help you build credit by setting extra cash advances on time. Dave is the banking app that's leveling the financial playing field. When you download Dave, you could get up to $500 in 5 minutes or less. No credit check, no late fees. It's part of Dave's extra cash account. Advance the money you need with no interest and then settle up later. Extra cash gives you more money to buy groceries, fill your tank, finally get your car repaired, or catch up on bills without having to wait for your next paycheck. You can even build credit when you settle up on time. Millions of people have already downloaded the Dave app to make their finances easier. So if you're in a pinch, get the help you need by downloading Dave. Download Dave today at dave.com/thecast. That's dave.com/thecast, and you can get up to $500 in 5 minutes or less. No credit check, no late fees. I'm telling you, download the Dave app now or go to dave.com/thecast. For terms and conditions, go to dave.com/legal. Eligibility criteria and instant transfer fees apply. Banking services provided by Evolve. Member FDIC.
Do you think we all love our kids, though, more than our parents did? Like, because this is sick. You ever do something like this? like the other day, my daughter was watching TV, and she had 10 minutes left before bedtime, and she was letting her watch TV, and I wasn't going to go back down and come up to say goodnight, so I was standing there with her. I didn't want to watch what she was watching, so for 10 minutes, I was watching my daughter watch TV. So I'm like looking at her because I'll never get to. And then she looked over, Dad, what are you doing? Oh my God, I'm staring. It's so weird. Like my mother never loved me enough to stare at me while I'm watching Tom and Jerry. You know what I mean? You know?
I think you're right.
We're sick about it. What are we doing? We love our kids too much. We got to pump the brakes on this.
I think we love our kids more than our parents loved us.
Yes.
Yeah. They were like busy surviving more. Like,
Right.
the world wasn't as like convenient as it is now.
So
They were like, I don't think we were like a burden a little bit. We're like, oh yeah, and I got to feed you too. Yeah. It's like, oh yeah, I got to. Yeah. Like, when are you gonna be old enough to work to help? Yeah.
Like I remember one time my mom came home. It was the summertime. She was with a friend, and my dad was out of town, and she had promised to take us to the movies. Seems like old times. Remember that movie with Goldie Hawn? But my mom was drunk. So we were like, we're all right, Mom. No, I promised that. And she's backing out, and she hits a garbage can, and now my sister's crying. Go, Mom, we don't want to go. We'll go. But again, to your point, it's like, we're just a big burner. You made a promise. Get in the fucking car. I'm going to D-wheel to the movie. You know? And then when the movie started, my mom was... It was so white trash. Yeah. No love at all, bro. No love at all. You know what I mean? And it's like, we would never, it's different now.
I remember my parents just dragging me to the movies they wanted to see. I was like 4.
Yeah.
And they took me to go see Jagged Edge about a break-in. So like I couldn't sleep for like 7 years. They never even considered what this would do to a child's impressionable brain. It's a movie that is full of fear.
Right?
Yeah, they were just sitting. They just took me to Jagged Edge. It's a rated R movie. I'm not supposed to even be in a room. But they wanted to go to the movie, and they're like, we got to take this thing with us.
That's it. Even Jaws, you saw it when it came out.
Yeah.
Now you got to go, is she old enough yet?
Yeah.
Well, let us, like Sadie saw Jaws last week. When is the age where you let Serafina watch Jaws?
I gotta be honest.
Oh, he never
saw Jaws.
You never saw Jaws?
Do you believe that? Do you believe that?
I've seen bits.
It's hard to believe. I think it's hard. Yeah.
Bits and pieces I've seen, but I haven't seen the full movie. And I don't know what age. You know, I know your daughter just saw Rocky, and your daughter's what, 2.5?
2.5.
So what is that, like Peppa Pig around that? Is that what she's not going?
Yeah. Can I ask an Italian a question? At what age do I expose her to the great Rocky movies?
Yeah.
Do you think?
Well, what did you do? 9?
9.
9.
Yeah. 9? Okay.
I couldn't believe it, how she was into it, especially the love aspect. It's really more of a love story than you realize when you go watch it again.
Yeah.
So he's also an American hero.
Yeah.
I want to do it at the right time.
Yeah.
I know it's like that's like a thing. You have an American kid, you got to show him Rocky at the right time. Not too early, not too late. 9?
9 was good. She watched, because that's the thing. If they walk away halfway through the movie, you're just like, oh, God, I don't even love you anymore.
You know what? I mean, now that I'm thinking about it, I got a 4-year-old son. I'm thinking maybe next year we throw on Rocky.
Boys can watch it sooner. They'll be into it
boys,
sooner.
yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So you're the emotional one.
Yeah.
Now with the kids.
I'm definitely the emotional one between me and my wife for sure. Yeah.
Okay, me too.
Yeah.
Who's a disciplinarian? Where do you see this?
She's
headed?
the disciplinarian more. Yeah.
So you're like kind of carefree, do whatever you want.
I'm a little bit, but I'm the fun dad. Yeah, I like playing soccer with her. My daughter, she's, I saw her kick once, and now I'm just have fantasies of USA soccer team. Like I'm just pushing her. I feel like Tiger Woods' dad. I don't know if it's too much.
I know. Well, you got to start young. It's insane, right?
Well, we got to employ some of these Chinese methods. I mean, they're winning. We can't just sit around and love our kids. You're right. We got to push them in something.
Yeah.
Did you take on talent at a young age for doing anything? Were you a great soccer player? Or were you always
athletic.
like a goofball?
Basketball. I was athletic.
Yeah, but were you recruited?
Division III.
Me too.
Yeah, Division III. Yeah.
Sad.
Yeah. It's basically
Yeah.
Division III, or it's white basketball,
Yeah.
white college
Well,
basketball.
yeah. It's Division III. I always say it was designed to wean you off the dream.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
When I tried out for my Division III team, the guys like, we take 11 players, but we can only afford 9 sneakers, so 2 guys will make the team, and we'll have to buy their own sneakers. I'm like, oh my God, what are we even doing? So did you play?
No, so I got recruited by Division III schools. I went to a Division I school, and I tried to walk on at American University. So I tried to walk on. I didn't make the team, but I practiced with the team like every year, and then I became good friends with the point guard, and I just, would play with the team during the summers, but I wasn't good enough. It was a rude awakening.
But you weren't embarrassing yourself.
I wasn't embarrassing. No, I wasn't embarrassing. But it's a rude awakening when I was like a 3-4 in high school, and then you go to that level, and you're like, I could only be a 1 at 6 foot, and I didn't have any of those skills. And like the 2 guards 6'4", it's a different.
Totally.
It's crazy when you think about sports, how like all the way to the top level that those guys are the best of those, like how good you have. It's like you have to be born a little bit of a freak.
Yeah.
Like,
oh no, I went to the 5-star basketball camp my senior year.
Yeah.
It's a big camp in Pennsylvania where you go if you're invited for the top recruits in the country.
That means he was good.
I was good.
Yeah.
Did you go to that?
No, he was good. He was legit.
The guy on my team, the camp, was Tom Gugliotta, who went on to play for the Suns. But the center on my team at 5-star camp was Alonzo Mourning.
Yes.
But I was the 12th guy on Long Island. I was the king.
Yeah.
There, I was such a scrub. It was I was so sad. I was mad at my father when I came home. Like, what the fuck were we doing?
Yeah.
You didn't tell me there was 7-foot guys. This is a joke.
How come your G's
I should have
are
been
better?
swinging a golf club when I was. Why would you have me playing a sport that I'm physically? It was embarrassing.
Yeah.
You remember Sean Miller? He's a famous guy. He used to coach. I think he still coaches college hoops, but he was a great basketball player. He coached at the University of Pittsburgh, I think, but he was so good, and I had to guard him once, and he would go by me and make a layup like so easily that the second time he went by me, he threw it off the backboard, caught it, and then backed it out. It was his way of letting the coaches know, I can score on this guy every time, but let's get everybody else involved. Yeah. And I'm still, I'm pretending that he didn't just do that. I'm like I got you. It was so embarrassing.
Yeah.
The dream was shot.
Yeah.
You know?
It's really, when you meet professional athletes, like I had a sports show and I interviewed Gronk once.
Oh my God.
The hands look like catcher's mitts. Yeah. Terrell Owens' hands were like, they really like this big. Like his fingers came, so they're like mutants. It's a whole nother.
Totally.
There's no dream there. It's like you're born for that, or you better go to school.
Yeah, I thought, and this is playing just street football, right? We used to play football in the yard, and I thought I had the ability to be a professional running back based on my moves, right?
Playing street football.
Just street football, right? I felt like I was low to the ground. I felt like I had really good fake outs and the whole thing, right? So we did this Vince Vaughn Wild West comedy show. This is like 2005, and we visit Notre Dame. And at the time, Brady Quinn was the quarterback, right? And he's like, all right, you guys go out for a pass, right? And I go, all right, this is, I'm fast, right? And I go out, and I turn around, and the ball was in my hand. Now, playing street football, you had to kind of wait for the ball.
Yeah.
There was no
Sometimes you're yelling, throw it.
Yeah. But to your point, it's just, you think you're good, but then you're not, right? And I think athletics is one of those things where you can't fake it, right? With comedy, right? I feel like there's no weaning out process of people that maybe are not funny. It's just like you're there. Maybe you have an audience, maybe you don't, but there's no like gatekeepers trying to like hold you out of doing a club, right?
Yeah.
We all know comedians that are like, this guy's drawn.
Yeah.
And I think we need some type of.
We got to bring it back. Yeah.
Right.
We got to close these gates of hell. Yeah.
There should be like a laugh meter, and if it doesn't reach a certain decibel, you have to quit.
Well, here's what they
You're
should.
out.
Or there should be like a council of comedians that meet once a year, and like at first they just sacrifice one bad comedian, like The Purge. Just kill one, send a message like you really want to continue to try, because every year one could get sacrificed.
Right.
So it's like you continue at your own
Peril.
at your own peril, And if you want to, the thing is, a lot of them would do it. We'd be killing a lot of comedians because sometimes the denial on some of these people is incredible.
Well, but come on, have you ever seen a guy that you think is not good, and then they become famous, and you're like, geez, thank God it wasn't his dad. I would have had him quit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I would have been like, this isn't for you.
Yeah. I mean, and they got famous because they got good.
Yeah.
And I couldn't believe they got good. I'm like, my God, I never thought you would have turned it around. You stunk.
Yeah, I've seen that, but you always kind of see something, though, right? Isn't there
even like a joke, right?
There's like something in the...
All right, guys, I want to talk about something that really, really means a lot to me. I got electric e-bike. It's Lectric e-bike. That's electric e-bike. This thing is unbelievable. All right, first of all, it comes delivered in a box, and it's folded in half. And it takes, I'm not kidding when I say, I don't know, you read the directions, but about 5 to 10 minutes to assemble. And when I say assemble, all that means is unfold it and click it. That's it. You got the side of the box even says no tools required. It's unbelievable. And it is gorgeous. It's got these thick tires, and the seat and the handlebars are both adjustable. So whether you're like 5 feet tall, or if you're 6 feet 5 inches tall, you can get exactly where you want to be on this thing. I mean, I'm driving around on it. Then my daughter wants to use it. She comes over, she lowers the seat, lowers the handlebars in 2 seconds, and now she's cruising on it. It's got 7 gears, so if you want to pedal, you can, but it's one of these electric bikes where when you pedal, the power kicks in. Or if you don't feel like pedaling at all, there's a throttle, and it like takes you back to the 1970s. It's like a moped, man. It has 5 speeds. It goes from P0, which is the bike doesn't help at all, and you just pedal. And even when you just pedal, it's a beautiful bike. I mean, the bike itself, I have it in my garage. I keep staring at it. It's stunning. And other people around town, but electric bikes are getting really popular. None of them are as good looking as the electric e-bike. And the beauty of this bike is, okay, I've biked in it with shorts on, taking it down to the lake to go jump in the water. And then it has this great rack on the back that can hold up to 150 pounds. So you just put a bag on there with dry clothes. But then I literally took it to the Shorewood Country Club for dinner. I'm wearing a white linen shirt, a pair of loafers. You could take this thing to work. You could take this bike to your own wedding, man. I'm telling you, I wish I got it sooner. I got it at the end of the summer, but the minute I got this bike, I stopped using my car around town. I mean, and if you look around, these electric bikes are taking off. But I am not lying, guys, when I tell you, look into this one. It's called the electric e-bike. That's Lectric e-bike. I know I'm doing a longer ad than I'm even supposed to be doing, but these guys were kind enough to send me one of these things, and it freaking changed my life a little bit already. I mean, I'm getting one for my wife. I got one for my father-in-law. I literally got one for him. He loves it. When you hit a hill or when you're going against the wind, and even if you're old school and you're like, I like to pedal, I don't need any help, man, you put it in P1, P2 or something like that, and it just helps you up over that hill, and it makes you want to keep biking. I've been taking it around my neighborhood, just every side road, nook and cranny, checking out every house I pass. So look into it. It would make literally, if you're going to get someone a bunch of Christmas gifts for Christmas and you want to save the hassle, just get them the XP 3.0 electric e-bike and put a bow on it and call it a day. You're going to have the best Christmas morning. All right, so these things, they change the way you ride. With quality features, this is stuff they wanted me to tell you. As I said, it's $73 per month if you want to do the plan. They got a big, powerful, removable battery that takes 2 seconds to put in, put out. And by the way, when you want to recharge this, it's like recharging your phone. You just plug the little thing right into the little hole on the side of the bike. And the bike also has this odometer. I don't know what you call it, but it's an LCD display screen. I don't see this on a lot of other e-bikes. It tells you how fast you're going, how far you went. It tells you how much battery you still have left to go. It's like literally a dashboard. It's like my Subaru dashboard. It's unbelievable. So do yourself a favor, man. Make every day feel like an endless summer vacation with the XP 3.0 from Electric. Visit electricebikes.com to learn more and explore the epic models Electric has to offer. That's Electric. Ready? Lectrice electricbikes.com. Not, so you take the E off, so it's electric. Lectric bikes.com. Check these bikes out, guys. Telling you. And if you're retired and you don't have one, I don't even know what the hell you're waiting for. All right, later.
Yeah. When did you start? What?
I started in 2000, then I stopped, and then I started again in 2006.
So there was a 6. What the hell were you doing for 6 years?
I went from 2000 to 2002, and then I got shot. And so I started having like panic attacks,
Wait, bro.
mental health things. So I quit for a little while.
1 second. I vaguely heard about this story, but I don't know it intimately. Do you mind telling us?
Yeah, I'll tell you. Yeah.
Well, I don't know why we didn't open up with the shooting.
I know we got shot.
Well, I got shot recently. Can I say 20 plus years ago? Yeah.
Okay, so take us through the shooting.
So I was like, I just started doing comedy. I was a young kid out of college, and I was working at nightclubs. I was working at this nightclub, Envy, but I would work at a bunch of nightclubs in New York for my friend who was like a club promoter. And this club was like, there was a lot of thugs that went to this club, a lot of drug dealers went to this club. It was just one of those like hip hop nights, and he would walk out with a lot of cash. So it was like we went to his car, and it was like attempted robbery on him, And so, yeah, I got shot in the car.
Where?
Yeah, in the inside of my leg.
Okay, so when you get shot, could you describe? Do you know you get shot? Do you feel it? Is it burning? What's the pain?
It's a weird moment. It's psychologically, it's wild because it's like a dream. You don't know time. You're like, is this going on for an hour or a second? There's so much adrenaline pumping, like chemicals, or you think you're gonna die. I thought it was over, like, because it's ominous. You're in a car. You're like, I'm shot.
Was it your friend shot too?
No, he ran out from the other side. I was in the passenger seat, and I smelled the gunpowder. The noise was loud. It was like reverberating, but no fear. It's just adrenaline. Yeah, there's adrenaline, and then the fear kicks in later when you're like walking around. You're like, oh my! You just have this thing where your brain's like, it could happen any moment. So you just got to work on that.
So do you get out of the car?
So what happened was, I saw him. I turned around, like I was getting in the passenger seat, and I turned around and I saw him. He had a mask on, he had the gun, the gloves. I saw him, and I just made the decision to try to get in the car and close the door. I don't know why. I didn't run. I don't know why. And so I tried to get in. I think he saw me see him, and so he sped up. And like as I was closing the door, he was in it. He like fell in it, like And then I saw the gun, and I just grabbed his arm, and then I like pushed it down, and it was just a fire. So it was just.
Whoa, the fact that he had the gun and you grabbed his arm,
yeah,
that's like action hero shit, right?
Thank you. Yeah, I mean,
to have the wherewithal to grab it.
No, I didn't make a decision. I don't know. I wasn't a decision. It was just like fight or flight. So I don't know why I did that. I can't tell you. It was all instinctual. Yeah.
So you get shot on the inside of the leg?
Inside of the thigh, right here. I got shot right there.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're in the car. Do you
miss the artery?
Huh? Thankfully, missed the artery. There's a major artery there. Yeah.
I didn't know there was an artery there.
Yeah, it's really dangerous.
What's the artery?
Big artery right there in the right. I don't know what's
the artery. No, it's big. It's big right there.
When the guy on the surfboard last week got cut on the surfboard.
Oh yeah, he cut that
same spot.
Yeah.
Jeez. So what were you saying?
So do you get out of the car and are you walking around shot, or are you just in the car waiting for the ambulance to come? Or
I made a decision. It's weird. Like I made a decision I kind of knew I wasn't hurt, but I wasn't sure. But I just made a decision to pretend like I was really hurt because I didn't want him to shoot more.
Yeah.
So I kind of just slid down, like, and played dead.
Wow.
And then, I think he kicked me a few times, I think, I don't know why. And
Did
then
he get the money?
No, he didn't get the money. No, he got no money. And because my other friend ran while this was happening, ran around the corner. Then he ran. Cops were close by. They caught him somewhere.
Oh, they caught the guy?
Caught the guy, yeah. Had to go to trial. Had to testify. It was,
Jesus
really
Christ.
weird.
Is he out now by now? Probably.
I think he might be out. Yeah, I don't know.
Everybody's out now.
Yeah, everybody's out.
Yeah.
Especially in New York.
Yeah.
All right.
Wow, man. I don't even know.
How has society failed you? That's what they probably asked them. Let them out.
Yeah. Right.
If you get stuck up now in New York, you got to be like, how has society failed you? Take my money. It's my fault for being outside.
Right. And sometimes it's like, just take the money. What do you? You want to go, okay, you didn't even need to shoot me. I would have given you what you wanted. The
Well,
fuck?
it was kind of like if I didn't engage him, maybe he wouldn't have, but I just reacted. Maybe if I just maybe it wouldn't happen. But
Flesh wound, though, in the end?
it was a circle. It looked like a hole. It's a hole. It was just like a hole.
Did it go all the way through the leg?
No, the bullet stayed in my ass cheek. So
Oh.
it traveled up into my ass cheek, and it was so deep that they just left it in there.
So you got a bullet in your ass?
No, so
That was
your body will push it out. Eventually, a foreign object, your body will slowly push to the surface, like it'll reject it.
Yeah.
So they were just like, we're just going to wait till it comes to the surface. So a couple of years later, a surgeon removed it. But it was just, I could feel it like when I would play basketball, it would rip a little bit. And then when it got to, like, you could feel it. You could touch it from the outside. I went to the surgeon, and they put me under, and this is a true story. They put me up in the stirrups, to do the surgery. And I was in there, and when I was coming to, they were down there working, the nurse and him, and I just farted. I just farted right on them. I didn't know where I was. They were down there working. And I just came there. They just came up and they were dying laughing. I kind of didn't know what was going on. And here's a good story too. When I got the X-rays to take to the surgeon, I was doing social work and I was working with like a bunch of older Christian ladies. And so I came back. I hadn't looked at the X-rays. So when I got back, they all knew I was going to get them at my job, and they all wanted to see him. So I didn't know what an X-ray. I didn't know an X-ray picks up all the details. Right, it's this area right here. So I take the X-ray out, I put it on the window, and there's just my limp penis, just like a police sketch, just right next to the bullet. All these Christian women, just like it was. Thank God it was bigger than the bullet. Though,
You still got the bullet? Did you keep it?
No, the police took it.
What?
The police took it at the hospital. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's evidence or whatever.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is, you must be so tired of telling that story, man.
I've told it a few times. I didn't talk about it for years. But yeah, that's why I was like having panic attacks after that. I had to go to therapy, and then it was PTSD. I didn't even know what that was. Like,
wow.
So that was like my first like anxiety attacks was that.
So when do you make the decision to like, I got to get back on stage and start doing comedy? Is this something that someone said, hey, you got to get back up there? Did you have to come to this on your own? Or
Donnell Rawlings was really the guy. You guys know Donnell?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So, he was just supportive. He was like, you're funny. And then he had this room on the Upper East Side in New York called Marion Square. And so he would just let me perform there once a week. So I started doing once a week, like every week. And I was terrible again. I wasn't good. And, then he took me on the road when him and Burr and Charlie went on the road. I would go on the road with them and I'd sell his posters. I'd do 5 minutes. And so that's what got me back into it. It was really Donnell pulled me back in.
Awesome.
So I always like love him for that. He was just very supportive, and he took me. I opened for him, Mohegan Sun, and colleges, whatever he was doing, he took me, and he got me in. He got me back into it.
Wow.
So I'll always love him for that.
That's
so, so leading up to the shooting, you're doing comedy for 2 years. Do you feel like, oh, okay, this
Started real good. Yeah. I did my first college like Northeastern. I remember like the weekend before I got shot. Jason Steinberg sent me.
Yeah.
To do Northeastern
Man.
University. So I was off to like an auspicious start, and then it was just like out of whack. My mind was just, and then I was just like, I got a job, and I started drinking, and and so it was off for a couple.
So it didn't even click into your head like kind of after that happened, I got to get back on stage, or you were just going through so much turmoil?
I was going through turmoil. Yeah, it was weird. I was just going through turmoil. I was having panic attacks. Like, I'd get on the train and I would just like start hyperventilating, and I didn't understand it. It's weird. Like, the internet wasn't around really then. So you couldn't just be like, what's going on? I really didn't make the connection. I was like, what is going on?
Yeah.
I like, you try to logically like figure, you're like, why? And then, one time I totally froze up. Like, I couldn't move. Like, I was actually scared stiff. And I was calling my friend. I was like, I think I'm having a heart attack. Call the ambulance. I came there. You're fine. They're like, you're fine. And I'm like, what does that mean? So what was that? What did I just feel?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And and then slowly I went to therapy, and they pay for it. The city, like when you're a victim of a crime, they'll pay. They'll be like, hey, you got to go to therapy, and it helps.
It's like, even if you didn't have the money for the operation, they would have paid to take the bullet out too, right? Like,
yeah.
That's on us. A little gift from the Manhattan.
Yeah. It's like, we sorry you got shot. But
So if you're down like like at night now and you're on a sidewalk and it's dark, do you find that you get more nervous than an average person would because of what happened to you? And now
not
you're
anymore.
Not
I don't
anymore.
think. Yeah, not anymore. But
What a shit! I mean, odds of getting shot twice, guys.
I know, right? I'm probably good.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm probably the person who should be the least scared of it. Yeah. I got it out of the way. Yeah. But it would be weird because it would be in innocuous places. It would be like on the train when nothing was happening. That's why it didn't make sense.
Yeah.
So I couldn't figure it out. But I got over it. You know, we moved on.
That's a great story of overcoming such an evil thing that happened to you. But what I want to talk about, just in that little story he had 2 words that really struck me as being a well-educated man. I think it was it auspicious?
That was nice. I noticed that too.
Did you notice that?
I swear to God, I'm thinking to myself, I should use that.
That's what when he said that, I'm like, oh shit, I got to really figure out what that means so I can throw that in a sentence this week, right?
I know.
Now, is that a word you normally use on a day? Like, I won't say on a daily basis, but when you said it, did you go, oh, wow, I haven't used that word in a while. Where did that come from?
Yeah, that's a word, I thought maybe
No, it's like
I should engage the room a little bit. I don't know.
I thought auspicious meant bad too, by the way.
you thought it meant bad.
Yeah, you're off to a bad start. That's what I thought auspicious meant. So when he said it, I was like, oh, must mean.
How funny would that be if I used it wrong? Did I use it wrong? Does anyone know auspicious?
Auspicious start. That's how it was.
Yeah, it's like precocious.
Okay, now you're doing another word.
Look that up.
I'm off to a good. I had it. I'm doing good. Right? It's good. I used it right.
Yeah.
Well, I got auspicious. That's not a word.
No, auspicious.
He's really good at Googling.
Yeah.
Yesterday I asked him a question. I go, what'd you find? He's like, no, yeah, it's it. Auspicious.
What does
right.
it mean?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Now we feel like Rogan.
What is it? Being excited.
It was not the most.
Yeah,
Hold on.
giving her being a sign of future
Favorite.
success.
You used it
Yeah.
perfectly.
Perfect.
Oh,
yeah.
Wow.
I think I nailed that.
You
yeah.
really did. I mean, wow.
Yeah.
Man.
But then there was another one he used.
Precocious. just now.
No, in the I think it started with an A.
Was it
too.
another Osh? Was it
Yeah,
another Oshus?
it was something else. I was like, here we go again with
Arduous?
the words.
Did he use arduous?
I don't know. I don't know.
Oh, was it innocuous?
Yes.
Yeah, innocuous. Because I said it happens in more innocuous places.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's
get
in an innocuous place?
Innocent, like
Random?
innocent, nice, like not harmful.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
That word.
Yeah.
What I'm trying to get at is when you use words like this,
Yeah.
is this something that is a normal thing that you have? Because I feel like I got about what? What would you feel like? How many words you got in your head? About 600?
Oh, yeah, that's a good question. I don't know. I never counted them, but
No, like on a daily basis, I
Yeah.
think you just draw from what you got in your head, right?
dude,
And
I probably use a 400 range now. You think about it. I already
You're
said
driving to
I
400,
said
yeah.
awesome 10 times since you've been here. I'm like, awesome.
Yeah, you said if I was Greece for once. Yeah.
That's because I don't use Greek. I only use Greek, so I got to
you
use the
didn't
400
even
I have.
conjugate Greece. Yeah, you're like, I only got one word for the whole Greek thing.
Yes.
Greece.
Yes.
I'm going to have Greece food. This chick is Greece. What do you want me to do? Her dad won't let me date her.
God, I
She's
tell you,
Greece.
We were off to an auspicious start with him on this. This has been a great cast so far. Boom.
All right, so
Innocuous humor too.
yeah, I got it.
I still don't know it.
So Lindsay, if we have his and I got you this, and I feel bad that you. What else are you doing out in Los Angeles that you like piggyback
I did
this?
Bad Friends, which is another big show.
But
Bobby
Lee and the Santini.
Andrew Santino, yeah.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
I did
okay.
that, and I did a set last night
Where
at the Improv.
Improv. Okay.
Yeah.
So I thought
I was already here.
you're already here, and
So you bought me a car, and I appreciate it. I'm very thankful for the gesture.
No, and I'm like, all right, I know your wife is Italian, you're starting a family, so I figured, I think this would be a kind of a nice parting gift for you. But
Olive oil.
What?
Olive oil?
No.
Okay.
No.
that
But
what
we
the-
do have some here if you need some.
Yeah.
And I'm flattered that he came out.
Big time, man. It was a pleasure to meet you, bro.
Yeah, I mean,
Thank you, guys.
The fact that you think we have a following,
He can't even.
No,
I know from last night. Huh?
Wait, is it cheese plate?
Yeah, but you can't
bring down the plate
with that. I know.
Are you leaving today?
Yeah, I'm leaving today.
Oh, okay. So listen, it's some.
Sure, I'll get this back to her. You know what? I'll get this back.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say, guess what? This is from Sebastian and Pete from Los Angeles. This comes with heart. I'm gonna take this back. I'm gonna hold it on the plane like that.
Listen.
You got carry on?
You carry on?
Yeah.
Oh, that's done.
Yeah.
I'm telling you right now.
Yeah.
This cheese plate.
Yeah.
Is worth checking the bagging.
It's worth it.
All right, just slip it in your suitcase and take it back to New York City. Or if you don't want it, you could do like Bill Burr did and get rid of it at the stoplight. It's got figs. It's got
wait, so
little
this
cheese.
is just the same gift you gave to all the guests?
Yeah, no, this is our parting
But I
gift.
flew here.
Yeah.
Where's my helicopter?
We didn't know you flew here.
Yeah.
You will get something else mailed to you.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
In addition to this,
All right,
a loaf of bread.
You know, for what it's worth, we gave this to Jay Moore yesterday, and he's marrying the owner of the Lakers, Jeannie Buss. So right now, she's eating some of these same peanuts.
That
she owns the
means
Lakers
something.
guy. All right,
That means something.
yes.
Yeah. That does make me feel better about it. Yeah.
I want to hear the reaction from an Italian woman from Long Island when Yannis checks his bag to bring home a cheese plate. I could have got the cheese plate for $10 less than you checked the bag. Does your wife use the F-bomb? My wife uses it more than me. It's like, dude, I'm the man. I should be using it more.
Yeah.
You know?
Is your wife from Long Island too?
No, she's a Polish woman from upstate New York.
Oh,
yeah.
wow. Is that why you moved up there?
Yeah. Well, yeah, because of being near her family. Yeah, of course. You know how that goes, right?
Yeah.
So
they help with the kids and stuff like that.
a little bit, not as much, not worth the move.
Right.
Could have got a babysitter for the amount they chip in, you know what I'm saying? Gave them a whole comedy career for them. Grandparents could babysit once in a while.
Well, we appreciate you coming on.
Thank
we
you,
really
guys.
do.
Yes.
We've been dying to meet you, and you're all
hilarious comedian.
Thank
you're
you,
really,
guys.
really a good guy. That's Yannis Pappas here on the Pete and Sebastian Show. Check us out next week where we give away lamb and goat cheese. So, I'm sorry, we're back. So to catch you guys up, we were going to leave, but I just wanted to get this before we left. I had no idea how you practice comedy.
Yes.
Is in your garage
Yes.
alone,
Yes.
and you're moving back and forth.
You ready for this?
Yeah.
Wooden spoon.
Oh no!
Handle upside down just to give it more of a feel. Bro, it's like sparring. I told Sebastian a story once on a cast a few months back. I went to the Buffalo Helium, and a woman in the front row, like 400 pounds, went into a seizure. She was throwing up. I was on stage. I wasn't even headline. I was doing 10 minutes, right? And I'm like, I go, someone call paramedic. It was like so. I have it on recording. 45 seconds from the moment she started to do a thing. 45 seconds later, I was on the highway in my car. Like, that's how fast I just got off. I'm like, boom, I'm gone. But I was getting nothing out of this. Like this, you know? So I'm like, screw this. I just need to get the words out. So I go in my garage and I have my hour and like I have a bit I want to do. I'm like,
You do an hour like that?
I try to, but
in the garage?
yes, I go, I can get more out of that thing. I can get more out of that. And then I'll go up there and I'll be like, you know, so the operation, hip surgery, and I'll say stuff, and then all of a sudden I'll say something funny, and then I'll go, that was funny, and then I walk over to where my wrenches are, my screwdrivers, I got my pad, I'm like, write that down.
You got to move back to New York. You need friends, man. It's getting bad.
No, but then by the
You're
time,
being the audience and the comedian. You go, like that.
I go,
You got imaginary.
I go, I'm killing it, and then I turn around,
Yeah, you
But
might
by
be-
the time I get to the stage, I've cut. You know, working out in New York City, you can take advantage. You take for granted all these spots.
Yeah.
So you don't go up prepared as much because you have so many spots. But when you do it this way, you gotta be so much more prepared. Otherwise, you're not going to be up as often. Right. So by the time I get on stage, it's a little more tighter. It's a little more crisper than it would be if I didn't do that. So
Right.
So I don't know, man. I mean, I'll tell you a quick story. When I one time met Kevin Pollak, he was telling me, we got to talking about our specials, and he was saying that he's really good friends with Dennis Miller. And he went to visit Dennis Miller once. They were going to have lunch in L.A. And when I got to it, Dennis Miller had an office on the studio lot somewhere. And he was on his phone, and he goes to me, like points for me to sit down. And I hear him talking about a special. So when he gets off the phone, I go to Dennis Miller. You doing a new special? I didn't know that. Where you been working out? And Dennis Miller looks at Pollak and goes, right here. Right? And Kevin Pollak's like, what? And he goes, I do it here in my office. I pace it out. I da-da-da until I got a nice hour. And he goes, and he's from Pittsburgh, I guess, Dennis Miller. So then he goes to the Improv in Pittsburgh and does one night, 2 shows, just to tweak it in front of a live crowd. And then he takes it on the road.
I could never do that. Yeah, I have to work it out in front of a crowd.
Yeah. Well, when you're in the garage, right?
Mm-hmm.
Does Jackie ever come out and go, Pete, dinner time? And you're like, yeah, all right. And you put the spoon down.
Well,
And they go in.
There's been times where I've yelled to him, like, I just got to get my own office somewhere where I can do this by my own. You keep coming out here.
Or she goes, I'm making sauce. Where's the spoon? I'm in the middle of my skit. I'll be in a second.
I did try at one point. I had a boom box, so I hook up the mic, but that was too cheesy. Yeah. I mean, it was really. I literally one time how's everybody doing today? In my garage, I'm asking how my lawnmower's doing.
I think you should move back to a city, man.
But you know where I stole it from?
Yeah.
When I opened for Regan, sometimes I'd see him in the back of his bus going. You know, because when I first met Regan, and I opened for him once at the theater, he did a new bit. It was so funny because the bit didn't do good. And he goes, "That was a new one, folks. Appreciate the feedback." Only he could do. Yeah. So that got a laugh. And then I go, "Bro, you're doing new bits at a theater?" And he's like, "Where else am I going to do them? This is you know."
Yeah.
So then I noticed him doing that. I'm like, that's where you get the wording out ahead of time. He's looking in the mirror in the back of his bus. And I'm like, so I just added the spoon and took it to the garage.
If you think for 1 second, I'm not trying that tomorrow.
That's what I'm saying, bro.
It's like, I'm sitting here going, maybe, am I been doing it wrong?
Right.
Maybe I got
and you know better than them. That's exactly what Dennis Miller told Pollak. He goes, I know better than them what's funny anyway. That's a little. But then again, I do all that, and then when I get to the stage, if they don't laugh at it, that's done. I don't go back to the garage going, they didn't get that. That was a good one. You know, like, it does get its final presentation in front of real people, Yannis. You know what I mean?
You don't do a call with your manager and then you play the manager? You got to work on your bits. I know I do.